Okay, welcome back. And today we are going to talk about the boundedness theorem. It's another theorem that is quite useful in determining whether there exists zeros above a certain number or below a certain number, depending on the situation. So again, this is something that we're going to use limitedly, but again, it's worth knowing. And so I'm going to go through it here, and then we'll, again, just like in the next video, we'll do an example of how we would use this. So the boundedness theorem is used exactly what I just said. It's used to determine whether there exists zeros above a certain number or below a certain number given certain conditions. So it says here, again, we're starting with a polynomial function that has a degree of 1 or more with real coefficients and with a positive leading coefficient. Okay, so a positive leading coefficient. Okay, now also we're going to suppose that we're using synthetic division and we're dividing by x minus c, right? So we're going to be using synthetic division with a c value. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So this is based on using synthetic division. Okay, so if we do the synthetic division with the c value and the polynomial f of x, A says if c is positive, so if our c value is positive, and all the numbers at the bottom row, when we do our synthetic division, the very bottom row, if all those numbers are non-negative, then what our conclusion is that f has no zeros greater than that c value. Okay? So that means that if we have our c value, and our c value is positive, and we go through and use synthetic division, if the bottom row of numbers is non-negative, then that tells us there are no other zeros greater than c. Okay? Now, B says, well, what if c is negative? If c is negative and the bottom numbers alternate in sign, so they go plus, minus, or minus, plus, and zeros are considered positive or negative as needed in order to get the alternating signs. Okay, so we treat zeros like a wild card. Okay, so, but the main thing is if c is negative and we do the synthetic division, what we're looking for is whether the signs alternate at the bottom row. Okay, if they do, then that tells us there are no zeros that are less than the c value. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that's how we're going to use the boundedness theorem. Okay, so again, remember what we're doing. We're looking at the c value, and we're looking to see whether the c value is positive or negative. And then we're going to do the synthetic division. And then once we do the synthetic division, we're going to look at the bottom row. If c is positive, we're looking for all non-negative values in the bottom row. If that's true, then there are no there are no zeros greater than c. If c is negative and the bottom row of our synthetic division is alternating in sign, and again, 0 can be positive or negative depending on the situation as needed. If that's the case, then there are no zeros that are less than c. Okay, and so that is the boundedness theorem. So in the next video, we'll do an example and I'll show you how it works. Have a great day.